This program is brought to you by Grand Valley State University.
Well, thank you, Brian, and thank you everyone for coming. Sustainability really is a very important thing, and I'm glad that Grand Valley and the Hauenstein Center has brought us together to talk about it. I'm a freshman county commissioner, and I'd like to start by talking about the county and what it's doing. Kent County government is not a leader in the way Grand Rapids is, but a lot of the things we do, sustainability, maybe that's not the intent or the goal, but what we're doing is in that vein. Now, I'm on the Board of Public Works, and one of the things we have to do is handle all of the solid waste or the trash for the county. And as an environmentalist, I don't really like landfills, but what else are we going to do? And especially back in 1982, what more could the county have done other than to build the best landfill that we could? Now, looking at the slide, you can see there's some technology involved here. It's not just throwing the trash in a hole. There's a plastic liner. There's taking care of the leachate. We don't have any leakage occurring from this landfill, which we cannot say about some of the prior landfills that the county had. Now, 500 tons of refuse every day. I cannot imagine what that is. But at least we are keeping it enclosed, and it's not polluting the environment. Except for one thing is leaking out of the landfill, and that's the methane. The gas goes out, and we're dealing with that now, partnering with a company called Granger to pipe that gas into turbines and burn it and generate electricity. We invested in that and with the intention of getting a payback on our investment within 8 years. And then we were also able to get carbon credits for it, and we have a 5-year contract. We'll be getting another $700,000 each year for 5 years, so our payback is looking very good there. Now, that 500 tons a day, it could be a lot worse, because for the trash of the city of Grand Rapids and the suburbs, we burn that trash first, and then we only have to take the ashes to the landfill, which is just 10% of the volume. Now, again, as an environmentalist, I don't really like the idea of burning anything, but considering that the electricity that we generate from this plant produces less pollution than the electricity that Consumers Energy would be getting from a coal burning power plant, we're at least doing better than the conventional electricity is doing. And one of the good things about the waste to energy facility is that they do not want to burn anything that we can recycle. And this was a major reason that the county took over the recycling program back in 1990. Putting metal and glass through the incinerator does no good at all. And they also don't even like to burn paper or cardboard. Somehow that makes the fire too hot. They want to keep a temperature between 1800 degrees and 2000 degrees for their efficient operation. So we want to divert as much material away from the waste to energy as we can and away from the landfill as we can. The problem that we're faced with recycling is, how do we get people to participate? We've done the two biggest things for the city of Grand Rapids. We come to your curbside and take it away. And we also make you pay for your trash, but you don't have to pay for recycling. Well, that does a lot, and we have a good percentage of participation, but we're going to do a lot more. With our new recycling center that will be open in July, we will be able to let people just throw all of their recycling together in one big bin, so you don't have to sort out the paper from everything else. That will induce more people to participate. And this big cart has wheels, so it will be easier to move up to the curbside. And other cities have found that going to the roller carts increases participation. So anything that we can do to make it easier, more people will participate. We still have a problem with the people living in the outer areas of the county, the townships. They have a difficult situation. They're like we were 20 years ago. They have to pack up all their stuff and carry it out, drive it out to some recycle place. So we're doing research now to find out how we can serve them better and get them to participate more. Our new single stream recycling center will be handle twice as much capacity as our current one. So we're going to be able to handle everybody participating. Another aspect of the county, we established a committee to look at our energy use and try to reduce it. And they did some good work in 2009, sorry. But they had a very limited budget. So they were able to make some changes. But then in December, we got a grant. Thank goodness that the federal government has a stimulus package. And we're going to spend $2.8 million on 24 different projects that will affect county buildings and facilities all over. A lot of changing out of light bulbs. We're going to reduce our consumption of electricity, more insulation. The wall glass on the city-county building has been just a single pane for all these years. We're going to correct that mistake. And so we're going to be saving over $370,000 every year from now on with that investment and helping the city of Grand Rapids also. So it looks to me like this is something that we should have done. Even if we had to pay for that $2.8 million ourselves, we shouldn't have waited for the federal government to come and rescue us. Farmland preservation is the hot topic for Kent County government, it seems, this past year. It's the most controversial political issue. We have had a program since 2002. The county administers it. There's a lot of work that goes into it. A farmer has to apply. We have to evaluate the farm, and the farm has to be assessed. Its value per acre as a farm and its value per acre as a development. And then we pay the farmer the difference. After that, the farmer has to just farm, cannot build anything on that property. And no one who buys that property from that person can ever build on it either, except for any kind of agricultural use. Now, I supported that, and I hope that it will continue every year, but there are others who are going to be running against some commissioners on that issue because they say this is a waste of money and the government should not be spending money on that. Now, how is it really sustainable to do purchase of development rights? Well, it does strengthen our agricultural economy. If we have land that we know for sure is going to be farms, and we're not going to dilute the farm industry, then the suppliers of all the farmers will have lots of customers. And that's important. You can't run a farm just on your own. You need to buy a lot of equipment. There's specialized technology. There's I'm a city boy. I don't even know what all they need to buy. But I know there's a lot to it. And if there's a large base of customers for their suppliers, you can have a healthy industry, and the farmers can get better prices for what they need to buy. So it's going to strengthen our agriculture well into the future. What's more important to me as a city person, the urban sprawl and the redirecting development back into the urban areas. I tell people that I live a block from 28th Street, and every day I go by stores that are empty and buildings that are boarded up. I would much prefer that developers, instead of paving over farmland and putting up strip malls out there, that they come back to 28th Street and put up your stores there, rejuvenate our city of Grand Rapids. When Kent County puts up new buildings and when we renovate our current buildings. We've been following LEED principles. The new 63rd District Court is a good example. We put in a brand new geothermal heating system, and I don't have any statistics on it, but I've been told by the facilities manager the costs for heating over this winter were just phenomenally low. And of course then was expecting good news for the summer cooling season. Now, how does all this relate to the 2010 election? When I was campaigning 2 years ago, I would go door to door and give people my little 30-second speech, and then I would always say, well, what are your concerns? Well, over half the people said, can't think of anything, I don't know. But other responses I got were, cut government spending. I wonder if we're going to hear that this year. I don't know. Jobs, schools, and roads. Now, I think, what does that mean for us for sustainability? Well, people are concerned about what's going on right now with their lives right now. So that doesn't bode real well, because sustainability really is about the future. And people are concerned about money. Again, that's not a big help to us, because being sustainable frequently means spending more money now so that we can benefit in the future. But here's a good thing. People love their kids. And what are kids all about? They're about the future. So we might be able to make sustainability an issue. So possible strategies. Sustainability saves us money. That's long term. But anyone who is living here and planning to be in Kent County for the rest of their lives, they're going to be paying property taxes for the rest of their lives. So if we can make an argument that we want Kent County to make investments now so that we can save over the long term, then your taxes will be put to good use. Sustainability creates jobs. Sustainability is good for our children and our grandchildren. So back to saving money. What the county has done so far, we've not invested in like any wind turbines or solar panels, but we've worked on reducing our energy cost or our energy use. And that's the cheapest way to save or to reduce your energy use. So we invest now more so we don't have to pay more later. And the government, as we've seen from the federal government, giving us a 30% discount on our taxes if we buy insulation or make repairs to our homes that will cause us to use less energy. Government can help us make smarter decisions. And we can hope that government itself will make smarter decisions by doing that, investing now so we pay less later. Sustainability creates jobs. The two things I talked about, the waste energy facility and the burning of the methane, we contract with private companies, Granger and Covanta, to do that. And they are providing jobs that wouldn't be there if we didn't work together. And another good example of jobs and sustainability is the Mass Tech company up in Manistee. They make this wind spire. It's a small vertical axis turbine that you could put up in your front yard. It is completely built in Michigan. All of the parts are built in Michigan, and it's assembled up there in Manistee. So the people that work there, they were making auto parts. They were all laid off. The company was gone. And we, were it not for sustainable concerns, they would still be out of work. So there's a lot of potential then for jobs for us and our children. Another area for jobs is this whole energy area. We are burning coal for our electricity in Michigan. And so we send over $1 billion mostly to Montana. Do you think any of that money comes back to us? I don't think much of it does. And the same for natural gas. We spend that money, it goes out of the state, it doesn't come back. But if we were buying our electricity from producers in Michigan, if our electricity was coming from turbines in Lake Michigan, that money would be recirculated here in our state. And that means more business for all the different companies that work here. So how do I say that sustainability is good for our children? Well, we look at this prediction from the Michigan Department of Energy. 1 in 4 jobs will involve clean energy. If I want my child to have a job and I want my child to maybe stay in Michigan, maybe we better work on getting those jobs to be here. Those jobs are going to be somewhere. So if we support sustainability and keep up with the other states who are working on sustainable things, then we can attract those jobs here in our state. And why do our children want to live in Michigan? Is it because they like hunting and fishing, camping? Do they enjoy going to the beach, our natural resources? Well, sustainability helps protect our natural resources. And then, of course, sustainable practices result in less pollution, healthier lives. And a lot of parents are concerned because asthma is a near epidemic in some places. And, you know, a child with asthma is a big concern. And so pollution, air pollution, makes that just worse. So we have 3 sectors in the Michigan economy, major sectors: manufacturing, agriculture, and tourism. A question for candidates can be, how will you be supporting these 3 sectors of the economy? So sustainability can be involved in all 3 of these. Well, I think, you know, with what we've gone through, you can probably see that. And if a candidate talking to the voters, if they just keep hearing what I heard 2 years ago, that, oh, I want you to just cut spending, they might not be motivated to work on sustainability. But if they hear questions like this, well, how are you going to be strengthening agriculture? Are you going to be supporting the farmland preservation? Or are you going to be supporting diversifying our manufacturing base and moving us not just to produce cars, but to produce wind turbines? Then we'll be encouraging candidates to support sustainability. Because when it comes down to it, my number 1 goal running for office is to get elected. My number 1 goal isn't to educate the people, although I'd like to do that, but there's not that much I can do. I can maybe lead people along a half step, but if I get too far ahead, you know, they'll write me off as a radical wacko and vote for the other guy. So that's all I have. Thank you all for listening.
The preceding program is copyrighted by Grand Valley State University. Visit us at gvsu.edu.